Hey guys, I am just jumping right on here with kind of really no preparation, but I think I can wing it here. So I want to talk to you guys about savers. Over the last few weeks, I've been posting about what each saver letter is and what we can do with it, how we can earn points with it, and why it's important to use. So I just wanted to kind of wrap that up and explain that a little bit. So the first thing is savers. That comes from a book called Miracle Morning, which I have not read. But, however, I know about it, and I've asked Sandra to read it actually, if she can. But a lot of it aligns with the things that I try to do every day or as often as I can. So when I saw this, it kind of made a lot of sense to me, and I was like, ooh, this is great. If we could teach this to everybody and they can learn to incorporate more of these things into every day, ultimately doing this all every day would be super awesome. But, baby steps, I like to work where I feel I'm going to be successful. So anyway, I thought that it would be great to teach these savers to you guys, and see if it's something you want to work into your day. So of course, to make it fun, as you see in those things, there's point values to each of the different things you can do. Which again, I'll walk us through what those all are on this video, especially for anyone new tuning in that hasn't been here during our educational weeks. So, SAVERS stands for silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. And so the theory is that if you do each of these things, the best thing is if you actually do all of these in the morning. That's what makes it an actual miracle morning. I mean, your day would be amazing. I have done this a few times and it's really unbelievable the difference it is. I'm just so not a morning person, so it's a little hard for me to get all these things done like before I have to start my friggin' workday. So anyway, like I said, what we're trying to do is as many of these things you can do every day. You'll earn points for those for whatever you do. Okay. So let's say, we're going to start this all next week, but let's say, tomorrow you wake up and, you have some time to have some quiet moments, and you're going to, think about how you want your day to go and you're going to visualize and maybe you're going to say an encouraging word to yourself in the form of an affirmation. So, that's awesome. Just aim to maybe do those three things or even one of those things tomorrow. And then you would earn a point for that, when you post about it the way, we've described on the various posts. And then maybe the next day, you didn't really have time to do that stuff, but you got your exercise in, which I'm always going to give you 2 points for that because to me that's the hardest one. So I'm always going to let you guys, you're always going to get really extra bonus points from me personally, the more exercise you do, because it's such a block for me. Oh my God. So anyway, again, those are kind of the things I'm doing to keep us, interacted. And what we'll do is through each of the challenges, each of the 3-week challenges, the ends of the week, there will be a Savers weekly winner. And then at the end of the challenge itself, whoever has the most points throughout the whole 21 days will have another prize, which would be a little bit bigger. So let's talk prizes. So for now, I'm keeping it a little bit small until I, make more money that I can get better things for you guys. But so first of the things are services. So as you might have seen in one of my original posts, card readings, angel card readings. That's something that I have been trained in. And so that is something that I will be offering to you guys as prizes. Energy healing. I don't know if you all know about that. I feel like most of you do. That would be something else. An energy healing session would be something, a prize that would be offered. Spiritual therapy. Let's hop on the phone for a 20-minute call. Tell me what's going on in your life right now. What kind of direction could you use? So those are some of the services that I'm going to you to fill out. And the more I get to know you, the more I'll get to, customize and bring in prizes and gifts that might inspire you to kind of do a little bit more of your savers as often as you can. So again, what we'll do is I'm going to create a new album in the on the page. I'll call it, I don't really know, maybe May 2017. I kind of want to keep the months separate, the challenges separate, but I'm just going to post them once. So there'll be an S, an A, a V, E, R, S, and then every day for that whole challenge, you come into whatever letter you're working on and you post about it. Obviously, I'll be able to see when you did it based on what you're posting. But of course, if you did it the day before, but you're going to post, the morning after, that's fine. You just tell me that. We'll figure it out. But that'll be the easiest way for me to keep track of it. And for you guys, the easiest way for you to follow it. And like I said, I'll probably create a new folder every new challenge that we have. Just because it could probably get really super long. I'm trying to think long term here. So anyway, that's how I envision Savers going right now. And that may change and evolve as we start actually doing them and implementing them. But that's kind of the premise, incorporate as many of these things in your life on a daily basis. To just spend a few moments, I'll try not to get too detailed, but I just want to kind of review and talk about them individually. So silence, I'm looking over here because I have a printout that has it there. You'll actually all be getting this too. It's a brief definition of what each of the letters mean. So silence, the reason why silence is so important, as I posted about, is, our minds are going so much, so often, even when we don't think they are. Our mind is totally just rapidly moving. And even when we're dreaming. So sometimes I used to believe that, well, at least I rest when I'm sleeping. And then the more I learned about meditation and all this kind of spiritual stuff, it's actually not at all. So even when you're sleeping, your mind is going, your brain is going. So the only time you actually shut your brain off is when you mindfully choose to get in silence. And like I've talked about, in other videos or posts, it's scary meditation. I used to be like, there's no way I can do that. Me? Are you serious? I'm like that. There was one of those memes posted one time that said my brain is like 25,000 browser tabs open all at the same time with different topics on them. And I was like, yes, that is exactly how my mind is. So anyway, we got to quiet that, right? We got to give it a break. So, I personally started with guided meditations. I'm a big fan of them. I love to share them. That's kind of all I do. Every once in a while, I'll get completely still and just be out with nature, and just sit and listen and feel what's around me. But, it can be anything. The point is just to do something. 5 minutes. I would like for you to at least start with 5 minutes. I could say 2 to 3, but let's go for 5. You could do 5. Again, even if it's something that's guided, you can listen to something for 5 minutes. So that would be really great to try and, get that in as many days as possible. And then you earn a point for that when you do that. And I think the way we can, earn those points is, we could do the honor system and you just tell me that you did it and how long you meditated for. Or you can, I was thinking about possibly, if you're using an app, take a screenshot of what you did and post that. Or if you followed something on YouTube, post that. And that's a little bit more beyond, it's beyond just the accountability of what you're doing, but it's also to show other people what you're doing so they can get their own ideas. So if you post something, a YouTube guided meditation that worked for you, someone else might, they might dig it too and give it a shot. Or if you're using an app, I like how that app looks. It looks like that thing they posted intrigued me. Maybe I'm going to try that out. So, and that's kind of the whole point of this group, is to be, as interactive as we can, and as a whole, help one another. So anyway, that's silence. Okay. Then affirmation, spoke of. What you say to yourself is so important. So find those things that are going to make you feel better. I posted that, I worked with the hypnotherapist that we personalized an affirmation that was very specific to me and where I wanted to be and where I felt I was struggling or, kind of being held back. So, you know, that was really awesome to be able to do that, but you don't need to do that. Sandra Michelson, who's in the group, she actually comes up with awesome affirmations. So we'll probably be tapping into her for that as well. You know, even coming up with them for some people. Ooh, maybe that'll be a prize. Personalized affirmations with Sandra. So anyway, that's affirmation. So again, earn a point when you post what your affirmation is. What did you say to yourself? Or if you looked at something, post what you posted, you know, whatever it is. Just something that, again, we can learn from, we can, you know, gain some information from, and maybe be inspired by something you're sharing. Okay, visualization. So there's two parts with visualization. I can't even freaking say the word. Every time I try to say it, I have this problem. It's so funny. But anyway, so there's two ways that I would like for you guys to use this. Typically, the way I would use visualization is in the form of like a vision board, which, you know, where you kind of see where you want to be. Okay, so what my ideal perfect day would be if I could do everything I wanted to do, you know, in a day, where I wanted to live, you know, the people I wanted around me, you know, materialistic things, but also emotional things and growth and how I physically look and how I physically feel, you know, all as many different things, as much detail as you can. That's kind of the way I've always done visualization. Wow. It's just that there's so many S's and Z's, I guess. So I'll work on that. So anyway, so yeah, so that's with that. I would typically use it in that way, and that's, you know, how I would center myself. However, you know, another way that's used, and this is actually how they suggest in the book Miracle Morning, is that you do it for your day. Now, I've never really done this, this granular, but I did this the other day, and I can't tell you how freaking perfect my day went. Even when it was derailing, it like perfectly swooped back in. It was pretty neat. And I started the day. I literally went through everything I wanted and needed to do, whether it was, you know, personal things, actual appointments, meetings, responsibilities with my actual day job, you know, plans at night, you know, whatever it is. I literally kind of wrote it all out like the night before. And then I woke up that next morning. I had some moments quiet to myself, and then I did these techniques, and I walked myself through the day, and then I started my day, and it was pretty awesome. So that's really great too. So you can use it both ways, you know, and you'll earn a point either way you do it. If you do it for your long-term goals, or your short-term goals, if you do both, 2 points, 2 points for sure, one for each. So that's that. Exercise. Okay, so exercise. Everyone seems to be doing their own thing with exercise. Some of us are doing Beachbody workout programs. Some of us are using our own equipment. Some are doing, you know, their own activities, running, walking, sports, you know, whatever it is. Honestly, the most important thing is that you just do it for 20 to 30 minutes a day. You know, at points in time, it would be cool if we could align and try some things together just for, you know, helping each other out purposes. But honestly, with this, you have free flexibility, you know, the more you do, the better results you'll get, you know, so keep that in mind as well. But the most important thing is to consistently move, and the better you start feeling about yourself, the more challenges you'll give yourself as far as moving more or trying different and, you know, maybe harder things. But again, you gotta post what they call a sweaty selfie. You gotta show something that shows us you actually worked out. You can't just say it, and you can't just, I don't know, whatever way you might try to get around it. You gotta show us in some form how you've done your exercise so we know that you did it. Because, as I said, just for that alone, you're getting 2 points. Because, you know, I think that's really hard. So anyway, so that's exercise. But the thing with this, and, you know, I can't speak much to this because this is something I've struggled with and still struggling with as far as, you know, being consistent with it, is so many people talk about how great you feel when you're done, you know, the endorphins and all of that. And I've definitely experienced it. I feel better, but I haven't been able to turn to it as a form of therapy yet. And I know that I need to, and so I'm really excited and hoping that you guys can help me stay on track with that, because I think that, you know, the more we all exercise, guys, that alone, like, we're gonna just feel so much better. So E, exercise, 2 points, post a sweaty selfie. Doesn't really matter what you look like. We don't care. Reading. So personally, I hate reading. I know, cancel. I shouldn't use the word hate, especially about reading because it's so wonderful. I have a really difficult time concentrating and like retaining information as I'm reading. So that's why it's a struggle for me. But I love information and I want to know everything. So it's hard. I'm the person like I'll read a page and then I'll be like, oh, I did good. And then I go to the next page and I read that page. And then I try to recall what's on the first page and I don't know. So I have to go back and I read it again. And so I do this. This happens like literally like every 2 to 3 pages. So it's exhausting, you know, and then forget it. When I put it down and come back to it the next day to like pick up on page like 4, I like totally have to review what I did the day before because I really don't remember it all unless I see it and I trigger it. The minute I see it, then I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. But anyway, so I understand the struggle of reading, which is why if we could just do 10 to 15 minutes a day or choose a number of pages, what would be so awesome to get to, I would love to be able to do this as a group where like we collectively decide on a book we want to read, some type of personal development we want to read. And, you know, we break the book down, you know, whether it's 5 pages a day, 10 pages a day, X amount of minutes. I'm not sure how we want to do it, but I would love to be able to do that at some point in time. But, you know, until we get to that place, you know, choose something of yourself that you're interested in right now. But, you know, just taking that time to fill your mind with something that's going to help you grow is so valuable. So valuable. So if we can make time for that, that's super important. Then the last one is 2 points. Oh, wait. Hang on. For reading, let's take it back. You're going to earn 1 point. And that is for, you're going to post whatever it is that you learned, that you took away from the reading that you did that day. Again, educational. We can, you know, then learn from what you're sharing and what worked for you. And it might intrigue someone to pick up that book you're doing. So last one, S, is scribing. And I've also thrown Shakeology on there for an extra point because to me, that's really been my game changer. So I can't stress enough how important that is. So I want to make that, you know, one of the things we have to do. So that got on our S list here. But the last S is for scribing. And that is for, you know, writing, getting your thoughts down, your feelings down on paper, choosing something, you know, 3 things that you're grateful for every day, at least 3 things, because there's always something. It doesn't matter how shitty life is. There's always something to grateful for, even like the fact that you have a pen and a paper to write on, because some people don't. And sometimes life gets that hard that you have to look that granular for things of gratitude, but that's when your life will change, when you can do that, when you can show gratitude for the pen and paper that you have. So anyway, that's scribing. So, you know, again, write your thoughts down, your feelings, things you need to release, things you fear, things you're angry with, something that hurts you. I did that exercise the other night, which I have to tell you guys about. And that was super cool and it worked and it felt so great the next day. So scribing, really important, and your Shakeology. So again, point for posting a picture of your Shakeology. It doesn't have to be you in it, though I'd love to see your face, but it could just be a picture of your shake. Just again, for accountability purposes and to make sure you drink it. And then, you know, another point for your scribing. So I'm not really sure how to handle this one yet either. I was thinking, you know, taking a picture of what you journaled, but I don't want people to feel they have to share what's on their page if they don't feel comfortable. So if you want to take the picture in a way that we can't actually read the whole thing, you know, that would be cool. I was thinking about making like a running thing that, you know, maybe instead of doing the paper thing for the point, I want you to actually do the paper pen. But, you know, the other option is for everyone to hop on when you get to scribing and just literally on that post, write 3 things that you're grateful for that day and earn a point that way. So, again, flexible in the beginning while we figure all of this out. But that's it. So again, the premise is the more days you can fill with silence, affirmations, visualizations. Woohoo! I said it right. Exercise, reading and scribing, and Shakeology. The so much better we are going to feel. So let's try and make it a priority. Let's get as many things in a day as we can, even if it's only one. And you know what? If there's a day you can't get any in, there's a day you can't get anything in. You know, no judgments here. You know, I've had more days like that than I've had more days doing all of them. So anyway, that's it. That's Savers. That's how we're going to earn points. That's how we're going to win prizes. And that's it. Good luck. We'll be chatting more soon. Bye, guys.